Just wait till social media catches up. Oh, I can see a few people have come on now. Evening all. The Ashby Motocross and Spear Memories. Hope you're all good. It's Fruity Friday. And I've got a proper fruity live interview this evening. I've just been talking to Bruce on text then, saying know when superstars are on because I've got the nerves are running. Hello, Callum. How's it going? Good evening, Kirk. How's it going? Hey, Frank. Oh, it's all going well. Just about to say it's all going well until I saw the Facebook one. I'm not sure who that is, but hello. Any of you guys on Facebook? In actual fact, I'm going to do it for you now. I'm going to go on the post and you have to click the link that's in the post before you come into the video. So I'm going to post it in some of the comments as well, even though you can still hear me talking for some reason. So I'm going to post that in there as well. So anyone that's on Facebook, click on that link that I put in the comments. And hopefully that'll come up for you all. So I've just gone in my group and done it. Now I'm going to go on my own Facebook and do it. I'll put the link then. So everyone that comes in on Facebook, you should have clicked on the link. I've changed all this now on Facebook. There you go. There's another one on that one. There you go. It's coming up on there, look. So anyone on Facebook, you click on that link and it basically just gives permission. Look. It says leave there. Look, StreamYard.com Facebook. Basically, you click on that and it gives you profile permission to use it. And then I can see who I'm talking to when you comment on the Facebook. So I'm going to go on the other Facebook as well. I'm going to literally send the link on every single avenue on Facebook so you can see it. Hopefully that'll come up as well. There you go. I've just done it on my Motocross and Spear Managers page. So basically everyone that's on Facebook, you need to click on that just to give your privacy permission, and then I can see your name. Otherwise it comes up like that, look, whoever that is. Evening. I don't get to see your name, but if it's done right, look, I'll see you like Stephen there. Hi Stephen. I'm not sure who that is. There we go. Richard sorted. Hello. Good man. Should be good, mate. And I'm just going to go on one more while I'm on here. So now I've put comments in the bottom now on all the social media, all on the Facebooks. I'm just going to do one more, and then I think we're sorted. And hopefully everyone should be able to do that. Ah, I can see that was you, Gary Stead. So I've just put, I see that you're in my the VIP group, so I've just put the link in there, Gary, if you want to click on that, and it's in the comments. Good to see you on as well. Can you ask Bruce if all the red and silver trucks that say Penhall International, if it's his company? Will do, buddy. I know he owns a company that does concrete. So I will check that for you. Evening, Russell. How's it going? Hope you're good, buddy. Hope you can come to our Battle of Britain Motocross event in October. We've changed it now to the 14th and 15th of October. Should have some news coming very soon as well about track as well. So there's the link that anyone that's on Facebook needs to click on, look, so that you're, hi John, how you going? So John's is all sorted, look. Otherwise it comes up like that, look. So you could comment and I don't know who you are and I can't quote your name to the man. Hi Lynn, how's it going? Hi Nigel. So everyone's looking good. Mr. John Sermon, how's it going? That reminded me, I nearly went to Oxford on Wednesday night, John, actually. Have you been down there lately? I nearly went down there Wednesday night, but I ended up going to do some motocross photography in the end. So John's is all sorted. I'm not sure who that is, but that's not sorted. So whoever that is, click on that link in the post. There's a couple of them I've done. Click on it and you just give you the privacy permission so I can see your name. Doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, it just comes up anyway. So Nikki Ayres, please ask Bruce when he may get to the UK again, especially a GP. Yeah, we can go over that. Ah, cool. I need to get down there, so might see you down there then, John. Definitely a selfie, that is, and a chat. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Quick pluglet holding motor engineer, is it? Hello, Keith. How's it going? So quite a lot of you've, hi Nick, how's it going? So quite a lot of you have sorted out the Facebook, so that's good. Someone hasn't here, so hopefully they can get it sorted out. So I'd like to quote your, I'll put you basically, when I get Bruce on, I'll just basically put you up on screen like that, look, ask the question, and then I can quote it for yourselves as well. So it's quite cool. And then after you can always, you know, screenshot the screen or anything like that. Because obviously it all goes recorded to my YouTube channel, so you can always watch it after as well if you can't make the live. Plus there's hundreds on there now. I did a first interview back in like 3 years ago with Bruce on a recorded Skype interview, but obviously these are so much better. You can, you know, do this live. I'm on like 4 Facebooks, Twitter and YouTube at the same time. Plus I can show you guys pictures up on the screen that we're going to talk to Bruce about, stuff like that. Look, you can just go like that, put a picture up on the screen and discuss it, and then get the fans on as well with their idols as well, which is really cool. Here he goes. Keith sorted it. Evening, Anthony. Shall we or shan't we talk about chips? Yeah, we will. No idea what you're on about, John. What's chips? Are we talking about fish and chips or? Hi, John. How's it going? Was it you spoke to me earlier, John? Don't forget to bring up what you brought to me earlier. I remember you messaging me. What does, hi Rob, what does Bruce think of the current crop of GP riders? Does he rate any of them highly? That'd be interesting. I'll bring that up, Rob. I did mention about, asked him. Hi Peter, hopefully you can click on the link for me so we can see your name and profile. Where's my message? It's gone. You should find it somewhere in the link like that. Or you can just come out of here, Peter, click on the link on the post and then come back in the video. And it gives you permission. It's a privacy weird thing. Hi, Dave. Ah, the man, Sean McConnell. How's it going, buddy? Another American legend. Beautiful. Awesome. How's it? How is it? The man. Loved Sean McConnell when I was a kid in the 80s at Swindon Speedway. You can probably see a few things, or you can't actually see that. My picture of Mr. Steve Irvin has got a picture of Bruce. Steve Irvin, you should check him out on Facebook. There, he's got Mr. Gunderson there, Gary Havelock, Michael Lee, and you can see my dad's at the top there as well. We did a beautiful one of that I've got to get in a frame as soon as possible. Oh, that's good to hear, mate. Used to love that when you used to crack the wheelies out at the Abbey Stadium in the 80s. I think it was, I'm going to guess around 84, 85. When I was growing up with Lee Kilby at Speedway, I was probably about 8 years old. So that was cool to see you guys then. Phil Crump was our idol as well, of course. Got a cool picture of me and Lee Kilby as little kids sat on the front of his bike that he took us around. So hopefully I can get Phil on again because it didn't work last time. I couldn't get on there. Hi, Dave. How's it going? So that's how it should look if you're on Facebook. Sean's is sorted. Have you invited Gunda tonight? I actually haven't, but I did tag him in the post that I posted it up on, so hopefully he sees it. Not going to be able to get on a Harley. Had to have his shoe extended, so the rumour said. Not being able to get on a Harley, had to have his shoe sole extended, so the rumour said. Oh, the TV chip 3 maybe truck. Yes. Last time I saw Sean was at the last meeting. Hi, honey. How's it going? The last meeting at Exeter. He gave me a big hug after I laid the reef on the track. Oh, that was nice. That's a good memory then with him there. Hi, Jed. Yours is all good. Everyone's quite good on the Facebook tonight. You must be clicking on the link. Hopefully Peter can click on his. Not sure who that is. Evening, Lee. I saw him with my dad at Wembley 1981. Epic memory. I believe my mum was there as well. That's why she always gets little cheeky quotes off Bruce. Do I tell him the story, Mum, about that apparently Dad ripped up the paper that you had the signature on because you kept talking about him too much? Is that a true story? Might have to ask Bruce for another signature to send through to my mum because she said she lost her one. I think he's down in my screen now, so I can see him. We can't hear you, Bruce, until I bring you in. But you should be able to hear me all right. Can you hear me all right? Right, as soon as I bring you in, we'll be able to hear you. I can see the legends themselves in the screen, so we can stop waffling, and I will get this going. Let's get the video going. Here we go. The man is... Right, breathe. Expect Bruce is going, how long is that going on for? Bruce, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Oh, that is beautiful. I can hear you loud and clear. That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
You know, I like talking to you, but I'd rather talk to your mom instead.
She would love to talk to you too.
Thanks to Jenny.
She's already messaging on here, Bruce, because the story is, I'll get this story out of the way straight away. So my mum was there at the 81 Wembley final, and she said she had your autograph, apparently, so she kept that close, so she was chuffed with that. But apparently you went on she went on about you so much that my dad actually got rid of the bit of paper that had the signature on it.
Aw, come on.
So I said to my mum, she's like, oh, I wonder if we could get like a signature off Bruce. I've lost mine years ago. I said, well, we'll ask him nicely, maybe, and we'll see what we can get a signature off Bruce.
I would rather give her a big kiss on the cheek. How's that?
Oh, wow.
No, she's great.
There she is. Look, she's already got love hearts on the ice.
How are you, Lee?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you? So are you away for a few days, or what's...
Yeah, we're out at the lake house. I don't know if you can see the lake. It's pretty glary right now. It looks from my point of view.
Yeah, I can't see.
But yeah, we're out at the lake. Actually, Siggy's got a place right across the lake from us too. It's a private little lake in just outside of Barstow, and we've had this place for about 5 years now or so. And he just got a place roughly about 4 months ago or so. So he'll be out here probably early tomorrow morning. He stayed at work today, so I was going to have him come over, but he's not going to be here until tomorrow morning.
All right, okay. I'm gonna do one with him as well, because I did one with him with a load of guys on, but it was a bit busy.
Perfect.
So I need to get him on, but we'll discuss that later as well. So I've got some pictures of you two together doing certain things on boats.
Great.
I've just got. So how are you then, Bruce? I really appreciate you doing this as well, especially as you're like away chilling out.
You know, no, thank you, Lee. It's always nice to chat to you. You know, it really is. I haven't done one of these in quite some time, and you know, I'm stepping away from working a little bit now. We got here yesterday, so right now my time is about 10:15 in the morning, and I'm soon to have a nice cold beer.
Ooh, beautiful.
It's you know what they say. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You can have that whenever you want when you're on here. Say thank you to your wife as well, because I'm sure she's been helping you out set this up.
I'm so lame at this stuff. Yeah, Lori did. She set all this up for me. So
yeah, thank you very much to her as well. I appreciate her helping out. That's cool. I've just got David Norris has just come on as well. I want to send a bit of love to him as well, because I know his dad's quite poorly. So big love to you, Mr. Norris. And he's put Floppy Norris and Mick say hi.
Oh, very good. Say hello back.
So big love to his dad as well. He's not been too well, so hopefully he's okay.
Get well soon.
Oh, actually, I've got a story as well that Mr. Norris told me before you come on. He said, don't know if this is true, if his memory is good as well. he said that once Cradley won the league down at Eastbourne, because obviously Mr. Norris is a Eastbourne legend, and he said that you kindly had a picture with yourself and all the lads from the junior training track afterwards. So they were all like super chuffed to get a picture of you. I don't know if you remember anything like that,
but that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
and remember, I bumped my head a few times.
No way. I don't. Yeah.
You know, I remember so much of it, but they certainly were great times in my life for sure. And I enjoyed the supporters everywhere, even at Halifax. They didn't like me too much there, obviously, but you know, they're there and they love the sport of Speedway. And when I first came over to England, I was just absolutely amazed. Chris Pusey brought me over, and I just knew when he brought me over. We watched the '76 World Final at Wembley. He took me around Halifax and a few other tracks, and I said, "This is what I want to do." I didn't really have any idea what it would take to become world champion until I actually went to England. And when I saw it in England, I said, "Oh my gosh, this." I mean, because even back in the early '70s, Speedway was huge in America. We had 5 or 6 tracks we'd run weekly, you know, once a week. Yeah. But I remember my last year, you know, in England, I was riding 152 nights of the year. I mean, it was huge. So I'll never forget all the Speedway supporters. They were amazing. And it certainly made the sport of Speedway the way it is, you know, for sure.
Everyone's hundreds of comments on it already. I got Kirk on YouTube just put, can you ask Bruce if all the red and silver trucks that say Penhall International, if it's his company?
No. Now, that is the company my father started back in the early 50s. Okay. Unfortunately, my mom and father were killed in an airplane crash in 1975. And at that time, we sold the company to the vice president, a really great man by the name of Roger Stoll. So yes, those trucks are still cruising around, and the company I own and my wife own is called Connor, the name of, you know, our son that we lost. It's Connor Concrete Cutting. So we're actually competitive with the Penhall company. They're a very, very, very large company. And, you know, sometimes I think, you know, when we park next to each other on job sites, my dad and mom are looking down in a good way. You know?
Definitely. I did say to Kurt, I knew you had your concrete company, and he said, yeah, I knew about that, but he just wondered what that was as well. So
yep. No, that was my dad's company. It's now called Penhall International. Yeah, it's a very big company all over the United States.
That's pretty cool then. So some of these companies are coming in, and they've got Penhall International and then Penhall, and then obviously your Connor the Concrete as well. With both
right in the same business, exactly the same business.
Oh, I've seen your man on here as well. Is Mr. Sean McConnell's been on as well, saying hello.
Oh, good. Hi, Sean. How are you, bud? I saw a picture of Sean about 2 weeks ago where he took something to the face, and he was jacked up pretty good. He was a mess for a little while. I can't remember what happened. I know he plays hockey a lot, but
when a puck course was it by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I watched quite a bit of the ice hockey in Swindon, believe it or not.
Yeah. And Sean's still riding. He's still doing a great job. Bobby Schwartz, they're still riding, you know.
Mad, isn't it? Been on any bikes lately, Bruce?
No. You know what they say, right? Once comes age, comes a cage. So I drive a side-by-side, you know, a nice Can-Am, and I'm protected, and, you know, I can go pretty darn fast in it. I have a good time, and I know I'm not going to fall off and hurt myself. I've had a few operations over the last couple of years, neck and also shoulder. And so, you know, I'm perfectly fine not riding a motorcycle anymore. I don't want to get hurt anymore.
I'm not even being a proper fanboy here saying this, but I swear, I bet everyone's thinking it as well. It's like, I swear you get younger. What's going on? What's in the water over there?
I'm 60. I just turned 66, man. I'm getting up there. Yeah, I'm on Medicare now. I love it. And I'm getting a SAG pension, if you can believe that. So,
Yeah. Wow. Bloody hell.
yeah.
Time flies when we're having fun and all that.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good though. Just a couple of minor little surgeries and I'm doing a lot better. But yeah, my rotator cuff was completely torn and I've had some serious it's just old injuries,
Yeah.
and of course age. So, but I'm doing better now.
You don't look it, so fair play, Bruce. You look amazing. I'm sure my mum concur with that. Dave said couldn't wait to see you as well. So I've got a lot of Cradley fans on here, that's for sure. So I'm just going to get straight into the questions. Let's get straight in.
Okay, go for it, man. I'm ready.
Straight into it. So straight in. So when you retired, obviously on the podium of the 1982 after winning the final, etc. So was that always? How long was that plan for? How long did you know beforehand? And is there any regrets in that at all? Or did you just have a passion to try something different? Sort of had enough of the speedway for now? Or what was it? What was all the the decision making all about, like, overall for yourself?
Well, I'll try to make a long story short. So I truly wanted to become world champion. Okay, and obviously the only place during that era was to be racing in the British League, and of course on the weekends on the continent. And it was just a dream of mine. I just wanted it so bad, especially when I moved to England and really got a taste of the really, really good fast guys. Don't get me wrong. Mike Bast, Rick Woods, Bill Cody, Danny Becker, Steve Bast, and the list goes on. Back in the States, they were very good too. And they were great mentors to me when I first started. But I never had in mind that I wanted to become a 4-time world champion or a 6-time world champion. And the biggest issue that I had is just prior to moving to the UK to start racing is when I lost my mom and dad in an airplane crash. That was in 75. And my family is very, very close. We always have been. Yeah. And basically I moved away to chase my dream. And they were all for me and all about that. But I truly missed being around my family. Okay. Now, a year before, just after the 81 World Championship, I was approached by Chips, the TV show Chips.
Yep.
And they wanted me to test for being Eric's partner. But they said, you have to quit right now. I says, well, that's not going to happen. I've got a world championship, the second world championship coming up in about 4 months, and it's in the United States. So thank you very much. But, and I'm contracted right now. I'm racing for a team. They don't understand that. It's just, okay, you want to do this, this is what you have to do. I was very thankful. I went through classes. I'd drive to London when I'd have a day off and go to a dialogue coach, and because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, I had to memorize all this dialogue. I'm a racer, man. They're throwing me in the deep end. So anyway, it was maybe 3 months prior. We all the Yanks had to go back to America and ride for a week. Okay, on the small tracks.
Yeah.
Because we all left. A lot of the good guys left. So, okay, we're going to go back to the States and we'll ride at one of those tracks. So anyway, when I was back home riding, they brought me to the studio and they had me test for the role. And we got me all suited up. Eric Estrada was there. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing even when I was testing, but okay, here's the dialogue. And it was a few sentences and I read the dialogue, and literally an hour after I left, they said, okay, you got the job. We need you to stop tomorrow. Like they had mentioned, 3 or 4 months prior to that. I said, now the World Championship's literally like a few weeks away. I don't know exactly how, but I know it was coming up. And that was my other goal. Okay, I want to win the World Championship. more than anything for a second time, and I want to win it on my home territory at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. They said, okay, well, we have to fill that position, so we're going to hire somebody else, and we'll still have you come on as a special guest when you're done with your racing. I said, okay, great. So I lost a job. Well, probably I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 days prior to the World Championship, they called me and they said, hey, we're going to write a role especially for you. We'd like to shoot the World Championship, and we'd like you to start working on the show literally 2 weeks after the World Championship.
Wow.
As a special guest. And I'm going, wow. And so they wrote in the script that I'd won the World Championship even before I raced it. I had all the people, all the Chips cast were in the pits, several cameras, bodyguards, and like, you know, it was a little bit distracting for me. Come on, this is my second World Championship at home. This is the biggest time of my life, right? And so I just kind of put all that aside, and I just concentrated on what I was doing there. And I said to my family, literally before it, I said, I think if I win the World Championship, I'm going to retire on the podium. And they said, you are? And I said, well, yeah, they want me to start working, and they would not let me race because of insurance reasons. Okay. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do the show. Plus they said, you're going to be working 5 days a week, you know, a good 12-hour days. Yeah. So, but I didn't accept it yet. You know, I more or less did. And they said, okay, well, we're going to shoot it. And I think it was the practice day. I said, yep, you know, I'm going to retire. And, you know, I wanted to win it really bad, obviously, but that was the most important thing. I've got to win this championship. So I won the championship, and then I retired up on the podium. Yeah, it was a big decision for me. And do I regret it? No, because I wanted to move home, and I accomplished all of my goals, and I really, really, truly miss my family, you know? Yeah. And, you know, I used to see a lot of these guys like Scott Autry, you know, and he had his little kids, and I'm going, man, that's got to be tough to be a racer and have little ones, you know, because you don't want to get injured. You know, your family's the most important thing to you, and you've got to go out there, and speedway racing, especially 7, 8, 9, 15 days in a row, it's a huge risk, you know? Yeah. So I didn't regret it. You're probably thinking, okay, did I have a good time shooting the show? Absolutely. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And absolutely, if you don't call me an actor, I've always been a racer, but I learned a lot. And Eric Estrada and the rest of the cast, they were so good to me. They really were. They took me under their arms, and they taught me so much. And I learned a lot. I did quite a few other shows, some low budget films as well, but I don't regret it. You know, yes, I would have liked to race a little bit longer, but I had to make the decision because of the insurance reasons with television.
So it must have been, like you said, it was, I know you did some sort of training a little bit leading up to it, but it must have been like literally a totally different world to you, obviously, wasn't it? So, but once you got it down a little bit, did you enjoy it a bit more then? You must have been super nervous, was you? Or?
You know, I think my first, I had no idea. I mean, yeah, okay, I went to a dialogue coach, but it doesn't teach you, you know, different camera angles and, you know, close-ups and all that. And you have to have your dialogue exactly the same as a close-up as you do when you know, they're shooting Eric or whatever. And I think my first scene of the day took a half a day. I might've had like 3 words. I jacked it up so bad. Okay. I really did. But, you know, hey, they all understood, and they said, hey, you know, this isn't what you do, and we're happy that you're on the show. And they did everything in their power to make me as comfortable as possible. They really did, even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
And what was that like then going on to, I know you did like some films and stuff as well. And what was that like? Was that, because obviously that wasn't like a series, that's a film. Was that like totally different thing or?
Well, look at who's sitting next to me right there. So I did like 7 films, and half of them were, all the women on them were Playboy playmates. And then the rest of them were penthouse girls. So I couldn't believe I was getting paid to work with these beautiful women.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
they were fully action adventures and stuff. And they were very big in Japan. And, I think like 5 of them we shot in Hawaii, and I'd be in Hawaii for like 3 months. I'd work maybe 3 days a week. It was amazing. But then my kids started growing up and I was missing my kids. So, and obviously I wasn't a very good actor. So it was time to throw in the towel with that too, especially, not getting a lot of work, probably 5 years afterwards, but what's funny? I still get residual checks from Chips, right?
Yeah.
You know how much those residual checks are? Like I got one on Wednesday or something like that. It was like $3.25, but it's 40 years later. I'm still getting all, and I get like maybe 10 of them. Sometimes they're like $100, but it's pretty amazing. Sometimes I think it costs them more to mail those checks than what I actually get from them,
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff though. It was great. It was a great learning curve for me. Sure was.
Yeah, I loved all them things like the Chips, and I remember watching TJ Hooker and $1 Million Man and all sorts of stuff I loved as a kid. Was good. So yeah, that was cool that you did that. I've just see Ronnie Corrie just popped up on there as well, saying awesome.
Oh, how you doing, Ronnie? Hope you're good,
stuff.
bud. I think Ronnie's living in the UK, right? Still?
Yes. Yeah, he is. He came to one of my reunion events as well, which was really cool to meet him.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Ronnie's a great guy. He really is.
He had his boys with him as well, so that was cool.
Great.
Also got another man on, Sean Tacey. He just put love in his words. What a nice man. My childhood hero, him and Cookie, which is why I started racing.
I saw Cookie actually at the, let me see, I saw him a few weeks ago. He's looking really good, doing great. Yep. It's good. Cookie's a great guy, man. Really is.
Him as well. I'll have to try and hook him up with me one time.
He would love to do it, Lee. He would.
Yeah, and Bobby Swartz was another one I was trying to get as well.
Yeah.
Sean's put, the boy looks younger than when he was racing. I hate the Peter Pans of the States.
Let me tell you, I don't feel any younger.
Oh, I told you, didn't I? I wasn't just being a fanboy.
Yeah. I mean, I see Siggy quite a bit, and it's talking about age. It's like, man, our bodies, it's really hard for me to even wakeboard or water ski because of my shoulders. They're so jacked up, and my neck. And Siggy's really struggling with one of his feet, and then he was dirt bike riding about a year ago and crashed. And it injured it pretty bad. He's got a pretty good limp going on right now. He really does. But he was skiing last week. I saw. So he's on the mend. I hope.
Back on here. I just got a Jane Hooper here. She just put, "Hello, how are you? Me and my mum are a fan of you." So it's like another couple more fans on here. There's Jane and her mum.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
This is a good question as well. I'm not sure who that is because they haven't registered their name on there, but it says, "Hi, Lee and BP. Can you ask Bruce if he thought he could have beaten Egon Muller in Germany in 1983 had he still been riding still?"
Well, of course I'm going to say yes, right?
Yeah, I'm saying
and
yes.
You know what? I mean,
that was a shock.
That track was, I was there for that. I handed over the World Championship trophy, but the track was deep too. And I was a deep track kind of rider. Was it set up perfect for Egon? Sure, it was, but and he did a fantastic job. Yeah. But now remember, I had a year off from racing when that came around. So I was still fit, but I would still have needed to be riding, full time to really beat him. I couldn't just show up at that race and think that I'm going to get a motorcycle and win the world championship. That wouldn't happen. But we all think, even to this day, I think I could have won 4 world championships. Well, it's easy to say, but very, very hard to do. I'm really, really happy that I have two, besides the World Team Cup and the pairs as well. I really am. You know, I'm one of those guys that was able to pull it off, like, you know, a lot of our other heroes. You know, some guys that are so darn good, and I'll give you the perfect example is, like, personally, I think Dave Jessup should have been a world champion. Yeah. He had issues on the night like nobody had, you know. I think one of the toughest guys I ever raced was Michael Lee. Did he win one? Yes, absolutely. I think he had a few more he could have won, you know. But in saying that, I'm very fortunate to say that, hey, I won 2 world championships, individual championships, that is. And I'm very pleased, and I couldn't have asked for more.
When you think of all the, like you said, all the special talented riders that are out there that didn't even win a world title, that were really good riders, like you say, so to win any world title is obviously amazing. So to win 2 back-to-back as well, which everyone knows doing it back-to-back is a different thing as well altogether, as you know, but you managed to do it. Especially when you talk about that story as well, you think of all that pressure. It was going to be your home world final. Plus, you had all this thing about with the chips, and they're coming to film, and you must have had proper mental strength to, like you said, put it to one side somehow, and do the business at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, you can ask, you know, any of the top riders. You're there to do your job. I mean, do you need luck? Absolutely. Yeah. But you know, you have to be completely focused on what your job is to do that night. Sometimes it doesn't work out for you, and sometimes it does, you know. But yeah, I had a lot on my plate that night, but I was able, and they were pretty good. Like the cast and crew, they wouldn't come around and stand by me. They were doing kind of their own scenes, and my whole intent was to become world champion second time in my backyard at the LA Coliseum. So prior to the race, you think about a little bit of that. Practice day, you think about that a little bit, you know, and the other thoughts that go through your mind. But once you start that motorcycle and you're pushed off, your job is to go out there and kick some ass, you know.
How old were you? How old exactly were you when you retired then?
I think I was 25 and 26, I think. Yeah.
Wow. When you think of like Greg winning world championships in his 40s.
No kidding. Yeah. No, I mean, I look even like, you know, Bobby Schwartz. We had the Conner Cup a few weeks ago, and Bobby was there.
Yeah.
He's like maybe almost 67, 66, same age, and he's still riding. It's like, that looks painful to me. You know, and I don't know how they do it, but
yeah, Mr. McConnell, you know,
as well. Yeah, I mean, you look at Grin. I mean, geez, I look at any of these guys that are multiple world champions, you know, and they certainly deserve it. And you know, they were always focused. You know, so it's good for them. Absolutely.
I know there was obviously, like, you did only the one-off world finals, but you think that was sort of quite special, all built up to that, to the end of the year, all the crowd and everything. It's not quite the same for the GP, but obviously that would have suited all the top riders in your day as well. I'm sure you would have loved the Grand Prix as well. You don't, you know, if you have an engine failure or a mistake here and there, you can still obviously got the time to do it, where you don't on the one-off. It's all or nothing.
Well, you know, in saying that, Lee, we had what was called, Ole Olsen had put this meeting together. It was the Masters of Speedway.
Oh yeah.
And that was literally, they were all invited riders, and it was almost a tougher show than, you know, as far as the riders go, because they were all the best riders that were invited to the Masters, you know. And I think there was maybe five tracks or 5 meetings, you know, and I won that, I think, in 79, you know. So it was a small sort of GP system, but it was absolutely the best riders back in those days that were invited to do it. I like the GP system. I don't know many of the riders anymore. you know, but yeah, I'm still a one-off fan. You know, I am, and I think that the GP system will truly. You're truly going to become a champion because you can make a mistake at a meeting here or there and still win the GP, which hurts people like Dave Jessup in the past. You know, if that guy was racing the GP system, he would have probably been a world champion, you know, but the one-offs, you can't make a mistake that night. You know, you can hardly drop 1 point, you know, so it's tough. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure. Still am a fan of the GP system, but I'll always be a one-off world championship guy.
There was something special about the atmosphere. I didn't get to see it myself, but like talking to everyone, and obviously we see all the videos. I've got the DVD of the 81 final, stuff like that. Like, I've just got a question here. This is a good question as well from Brian Burford. He's from Swindon, does the Speedway Star. Done quite a few of the guys' books. Sam Romanenko, a few of the guys, Moran brothers. He's just put here, hi Bruce, hope you're well in your dry heat. I have a question. He went to Wembley as a neutral. And what he remembered most about it, the atmosphere was electric. And he's basically saying you could hardly hear the bikes over the crowd. Could you really hear the crowd very well, even racing? That's pretty much what he said.
You know, hi, Brian, by the way. Brian's such a great rider, too. He's done a great job in Speedway Star. So, you know, like I said, the first time I went there was with Chris Pusey years ago, 76. And I was absolutely amazed. The horns, you know, the scarves. And I wasn't racing. Obviously, I was a fan and a rider, and I really got to take it all in. The 81 World Championship, I mean, it's so hard to explain because it is so loud. But like you said, you know, I'm completely focused. I mean, if you let that take advantage of you, the loud, I mean, after the race, are you kidding? It was the best thing in the world. And I took it all in. But, you know, your job as a racer is to focus, and you have to block everything out except for what's right next to you at that start line, getting into that first corner first. If not, you need to fight to try to pass and try not to make too many mistakes, you know, but it was incredible. And I remember just prior to the race, I was Pete Adams was my manager, and, you know, he brought me out when the fans were all there, and there's a picture of it, and I'm standing next to the wall. I have my arms up like this, and he just wanted to make sure that I could feel it. And his words were, okay, you know, you're gonna hear this all night long, and you need to focus. You know, you've got to tune all that out, and you've got to do what your job is, and that's to go out there and, you know, kick some ass. But he's the one that brought me right out to where you push the bikes right there. That's the picture right there. Okay. And yeah, I'll never forget that moment with him. And I mean, Pete Adams was such an amazing manager. And, you know, I learned so much from him, and he was so easygoing and helpful that, I mean, I had just an amazing team in general. I had Eddie Bull as my motor builder, and, you know, Eddie used to prep my bikes when I first started. Then Mikey Tazanagas was by my side and doing all the bikes. You know, Jürgen Goldstein, the late Jürgen Goldstein out of Germany, did all my German stuff, and my family. I mean, and that's what I tell all these riders. You know, you have to, you know, be together with everybody. It's a big puzzle to become a champion.
Yeah. One
of them's family. Let's say it's your boyfriend, you know, or your girlfriend you have, you know, your wife, you know, all of that has to work, because if you have a little glitch in that puzzle and you miss a piece, you're not going to win it. And having a good team like I had, mechanics and manager and family, was huge to me, and a big, huge part of my success. I mean, I'm the first one to admit I could have never done this without my family, friends, and mechanics And I'm serious. You know, they were with me from the get-go. I remember being in England when I first was there. I was homesick. You know, I was away from my family, and I grew up on the beach in Balboa, you know, and was going through a big issue, losing my parents. And then all of a sudden being away from my brother and sister and aunts, uncles, and cousins, you know, but they knew what I wanted to do, and I knew what I wanted to do, and that was become world champion.
So, I mean, your mental strength must be on another level, because all the things you went through there before you even come here, and like you said, that must have been a massive culture shock for you as a young man to just be all of a sudden in the UK as well, after all that, you know, all that heartache as well, and then all that stuff must have been.
Yeah, I can't even, you know, and look at, there's several friends, and you know, Dennis Segalis's mom was on that airplane as well, you know. And there's tons of friends and people that have had to go through the same experience. And then of course, we lost our youngest son, Connor. But anyway, I don't mean to go that way, but it's it's tough, but you know, again, that's what family and friends are. And you have to work forward, man. You have to try to fight through all of the, you know, ups and downs in life. Life in general can be really hard, and you just have to get your mind straight, and you have to work and do the best you can to work through all that mess. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. It's tough.
100%. Yeah, very tough. Definitely. Just got this, better mention this, Nikki Ayres here. She just put, also, please thank Bruce for my lovely 30th wedding anniversary wishes in 2021. It was lovely that he took the time to send it to me via my friend Tracy, a Cradley and Wolves
fan. Oh, you're welcome, Nikki. That's great. Happy 30th. I just had my 38th wedding anniversary last week. 38 years. I don't know how my wife did it, to be honest with you. Lori's a great person. I don't know how she did it.
Still sorting out things for you now, like this laptop. And
yeah. She gets so pissed at me. It's like, you need to learn how to do it. I'm not very good with the whole social media thing, you know. I don't post a lot of stuff, you know, because I'm not very good at it. Birthdays and stuff, that's about it. I love going on Facebook and and talking to some of my old friends. Don't get me wrong, and a little Instagram. I love that. We have a Penhall Museum site. I think 2 weeks ago we reached the 5,000, viewers slot, which is great. But it can also be a little bit overwhelming for me too.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll do the posting for you, Bruce. I'll keep the Penhall legacy out there with the photos.
Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that.
I do like a few photos. You might have noticed that. Honey's just put, can you please, from the Sanford family, say a big thank you to from the bottom of our hearts for riding at Dad's benefit meeting after he was killed. Yeah, that was special. You always seem to have time for the fans, Bruce. Always well known for, a bit like people would talk about Greg Hancock as well. You guys, is that like would you say that's a personal thing? Are most American people that way inclined, or is that just your own personalities?
Well, you know what? I just, I remember my parents, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's got a different personality. Mm-hmm. Some enjoy the fans, some don't, some could care less. Yeah. I remember my dad said to me, he said, they're the ones that are paying the money to come and watch you. You give them every bit as much time as you possibly can. I'll never forget that. And that's always been important to me too. Sometimes my autograph got a little bit squiggly because there was a lot of autographs to sign, but I wanted to try to do as many as I can when they were there. But I enjoy them, and I truly believe that without the fans, we wouldn't have a sport. Okay. It would be totally unaffordable, which is kind of a bummer that we're seeing these days, especially in Britain. It's such a bummer to me to see so very little tracks. Same with California right now. We have so very few tracks. And I was talking to Billy Hamill last week, and he's going to start up another little junior program. So I'm going to try to help him a little bit as much as I possibly can with that too. But, you know, it's just unfortunate. I mean, and I understand what's going on with the parents. It's like, why do I want to train my little guy, my little son here to be a racer when the future, there may only be one track in California? And the tracks are hard to come by because building of houses or apartments or the noise, you know, so they're all set out in different little areas, you know, and in California, there's a lot for fans to do: football, baseball, golf, hockey, tennis, you know, the list goes on. So it's very difficult, but I think I really would like to see the sport come back again. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Got a nice message here from a Heathen supporter as well, Dave Avery here. But Lee, as a Heathen supporter, can you say thank you to the legend that is Bruce Penhall for the best Speedway final ever? I was lucky enough to be there and witness that night's racing. Awesome night, the best ever. You had to be there. So thanks, Bruce. Never forget that night.
Thanks very much, Dave. Yeah, it was certainly the same for me. And it was, I think that there was 15 Cradley coaches that went to the 81 final. I think there was like 15 of them or so, something like that. But, you know, the Cradley fans were absolutely amazing. I remember when I first went over with Chris, and, you know, PC was a big help to me. Still a great friend of mine. I was close to signing with Halifax, and I was close to signing with Kings Lynn. Okay. And then I spoke to Dougie Wire. Yeah, I spoke to Dougie Wire when they were in the States, and PC. Okay. And the deal came across from Cradley through Dan McCormick. Yeah. And they said, "Oh, I'm just giving you heads up. Those Cradley fans, man, I've seen them turn cars over in the pits. They are hardcore fans." Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was an understatement. They were so good to me and all the Cradley fans, and you did not mess with their riders. If you did, you're going to feel it, you know, as most supporters are from the different tracks. Yeah. But you know, I love Cradley Heath, man. I really did, and they always took really good care of me. I'll never forget that track. You know, Dudley Wood, man. That was my home away from home. I dug that place.
Special memories there. Obviously, you had some great teams there, great times, winning leagues and cups, and so cool. And like you said, they had a massive fan base as well. So it was like really special nights every night there, wasn't it?
It really was, you know, and it was even special when we went to the away tracks because the Cradley supporters did follow us. Yeah. And of course, you know, Eric Gunderson, are you kidding me? You know, Eek was, geez, I had so much fun with him. Yeah. And Helly's a sweetheart. Bruce Cribb, you know, I'll tell you a quick story about Bruce Cribb, because I came over there riding a Jawa, 4-valve. Yep. And he had a Wezzy. And after the races, I asked him if I could ride his bike, just a practice lap. And he told me that he didn't think it was a good idea because he thought that it was probably too fast for me. I will never forget him saying that. He, with a dead straight face, he told me, "I think it's too fast for you." Cribby, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Alan Graham, you know, the list goes on. We had Dave Perks, great guy. But Eric, you know, and then what he had accomplished, you know, after was, I remember he broke the track record at Wembley that night too. You know, he was fast that night. He's fast every night.
Yeah. Did he have an engine failure as well, I think, didn't he? That sort of pretty much ruined his.
Yes.
I think he pulled up and went. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He and then Phil Collins. Don't forget about Phil Collins. He was great. Yeah. Boogaloo was with us for a couple of years. You know, CDB, Steve Bastable. So
Yes.
it was a great team. Great times.
I was just looking here as well. Looks like Steve Gresham there, letting the Swindon.
Gresham, yeah.
Did you get on? Did you get on with all the Americans?
I did, absolutely. We the test matches were the kind of the first part. Yeah, the World Team Cup. We had a really great mentor, Scott Autry. He was the guy, the American that started all of us going over there. He really was. And Scott is a very kind of quiet guy, but he was very much behind the American team. He really was. And, we could ask him questions and he would certainly answer them. But all the Americans combined, Siggy, RP, Boogaloo, Gresh, the Moran brothers, you can't forget about Shuey and Kelly. We loved racing for the United States, for the American flag. I mean, that was huge to us, to support the United States. And the test matches were incredible versus, the UK. They just had such a strong team. And then we pulled off a win there. And then, of course, the World Team Cup, first time I think America had ever done that, and then the pairs. But we loved all of us guys. Yeah, we were racing against each other on a daily basis. But when it came time for a team cup or a test match, it was all about riding for the United States of America.
Because I was going to say, because there was like so many good Americans there. There was so many like number ones riders that you just named pretty much all of them. So you guys could literally just sort of drop all the league stuff and just literally concentrate on that you were doing it for your country. And it was as simple as that with you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you know what? You'd race that World Team Cup, and then all of a sudden, 2 nights later, I was racing against Kelly Moran at Hull or something. Yeah. And so then you've got to put on your totally different race face. Yeah. Okay, it's either him or me, right? I want to win this. I don't care if it's on his track. Yeah. He would feel the same way. I'm going after the win. I don't care if BP just won a world championship, So it's just a whole different point of view when you're racing for your country, world team, and or test match against an individual sort of night.
So that must have been hard as well, because after you won that final at Wembley, at the end of the day, when you've got that top man, as soon as you go back to the league, all the riders, it's like a massive scalp if they can beat you in any race at all, isn't it? So it's really hard to do that, and then to go on and win again was amazing. So did you find that? Did you find the riders were like obviously making a bit more effort your way, things like that?
Absolutely. But I felt the same way. I mean, like I said, Peter Collins is a true friend of mine. I think I talked to him on the phone about a month ago and loved being a part of his book.
Just lost you there for a second.
I wanted to beat him, even though he was one of my best friends. Bobby Schwartz, same thing. It's either him or me, and okay, I got to do everything in my power to beat my best friend or to beat my mentor. Yeah. And that's just the state of mind that you have to have, like I'll give you a for instance, I mean, if you have to be a little bit hard during a race and it's one of your buddies, I had a lot of friends in Speedway, I really did. I had some enemies, obviously, right? You know who that is, but
no idea.
You have to go out there and concentrate and focus, and your job is to beat them. And if you have to be a little bit hard, you have to be a little bit hard. I'm not saying to be a dirty ass like all the time, because you could get hurt as well. And your goal isn't to hurt anyone. It's to move them the hell out of the way. Yeah. I don't have a blinker on to put a blinker on that, okay, I'm going to be turning in front of you. It's all about getting to that first turn first and or trying to pass those guys and winning, obviously.
Yeah. And even like watching, I watched it again not that long ago, the DVD of the 81 final, and that That's got to be one of the best of all time. Like literally, like every race was like, I think it was Tommy Knudsen got him on the line, Ollie Olsen literally on the line. It was literally like, wow.
Yeah.
It was like, amazing.
Yeah. And I'm just thankful it was me that won that, right?
Yeah.
That was in front of those guys. Another quick story, just before my last ride, PC came up to me and he goes, look, all you need is 1 point, you know? And everybody knew even at that time, Kenny and I weren't the best of friends. This is even at the 81 World Final at Wembley. He said, stay clear of him. Stay completely clear of him. So my intent was, I'm going to make a start and I'm going to go for it, you know? And he was standing by my side. He goes, look it, just if you make a great start, remember, he could move you and run you over. So what you want to do is you want to get a good start and just steer clear of him. Don't let him take off, run your race. And I'll never forget what PC said. And of course, Kenny took off. One of the laps, he almost went over backwards. I'm going, oh shit, man, I don't want to run into him now and get hurt or whatever. So I did. I just let Kenny go and do his thing. And all I needed really was 1 point. I was second at that during that heat. So that's what sewed it up for me, you know.
That was really nice of Peter as well, especially as you said, it was an Englishman as well, about an Englishman.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good friend of mine. And Angie, his wife, Ange, she's a sweetheart. They spent quite a bit of time at our house, you know, when we were traveling back and forth. And yeah, I unfortunately, I saw him when I came back to England a few years back for Betty Bull's funeral, you know. So I saw Eddie, and I stayed with PC and Angie, and I was only there for a day and a half, 2 days, but I hated to have to see him under those conditions, but it certainly was nice seeing some of my old buddies.
I actually had PC on here about a month ago. He come on, and he did it through the phone as well because he didn't want to be on screen.
He didn't even carry a phone. PC doesn't even carry a phone either, you know?
I literally had a home phone, which hardly anyone uses home phones now. And I was literally here, Bruce, I had a big speaker here and had Peter on the phone. Yeah. Literally like that. So I was like, I'll take it any way we can get it.
If I have any questions for PC, I call us home. But I'll reach out to Angie. Hey, Angie, can you let PC know I'm going to give him a call or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He's a crack up.
Yeah. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to pluck up the courage to ring him because I had to ring his home phone. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Who's got a home phone anymore?
Hey?
Who's got a home phone anymore, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think you just have the line in for the internet. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've got some beautiful pictures on here. There's a nice one of you with Andy Graham, talking about Graham's as well.
Yeah. Look, I'm lifting right there, and no doubt the throttle's off.
Yeah.
It's not backwards.
Yeah. I even went because we did an evening with Andy Graham last week, a couple of weeks ago in Birmingham, and I went and seen him. So that was really good.
Andy's a great guy as well.
Yeah, really nice.
You know, Alan and Andy, they were great guys. You know, I saw Andy quite a bit. I think at the time he was racing for the Brummies at the time.
Yeah.
He had a couple different places. And of course, Alan was with us at Cradley.
Yeah, cool. I did just before that accident that Alan had, I actually did a live interview with him. So the family loved the fact that they've got that on there and they can go to it. But obviously that was super sad as well. Still racing as well, doing crazy stuff, sidecars.
Yeah.
But still racing.
Good for them.
Yeah. All the granddaughters now are all racing on quads, and all the family are still racing on sidecars. So they're all still heavily involved in the bike. So it's good to see. So yeah, really cool.
That's good to hear.
So what happened? Was this one of these things like with Ivan Major and all that as well on there?
Yeah, that was Aussie, I believe. Yeah, and that was actually after I retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I just did a match race with Ivan because I never raced. I did a couple exhibition rides, And that I think that was at the showgrounds, Sydney Showgrounds with Ivan.
That was pretty cool to do then.
Yeah. Yeah. Ivan and I had a bit of a falling out at the 82 World Championship that night because I don't blame him. Ivan was managing, Kenny Carter, and when the whole deal occurred, he was, really pissed off. Ivan was, obviously.
Oh, I remember he was some managing sort of thing.
Well, and he was also a co-promoter. So, anyway, we kind of fell out, but 2 weeks later we made up, and it was all good. And you just have to get over those sort of things. You can't dwell on them. But he was working for Kenny, and I totally understood what he was trying to do. And you know what? If you looked at that race, it could have gone either way. If you look at the cameras, especially the Chips cameras that showed that I didn't touch him, did I leave him any room? No, I didn't leave him an inch, but so I don't really like talking about it too much, only because of, what evenly happened, not that night with Ken. And like I keep saying, you're out there to win a race. It's going to either be him or you. Are you trying to stuff somebody in the fence? Hell no, you're not. That's not, you're going to block and you're going to try to beat him however you do it. You don't want to be dirty. Sometimes it appears to be dirty from some riders, and some are a little bit, but for the most part, you're going out there to beat their ass, and sometimes it's going to be a little bit hard,
especially in a world final. Can't get any bigger than that, okay?
Yeah.
Like you said, as it worked out, I remember that obviously everyone had their own opinion on it, and then obviously when those, thank God for the Chips things for you, it actually showed you that you didn't make contact at all. So that sort of worked itself out.
You know what I did too right away is when I got that footage. Gary Newbon, Gary's a great guy. I got along really well with Gary. Did a lot of the Speedway commentary, and I sent that to him, and he actually put that on his news one night. And because he was kind of even in agreement that I'm the one that should have got excluded and a lot of the other people were until they actually saw the footage from the back of that. So, but it was nice to hear Gary say that too, especially when he was an English, doing the English commentary.
Exactly. I suppose pretty much from the pit at that end of the thing, and from the TV as well that we were just watching, it did look like that you'd maybe made contact. But like you said, when you got the Chips angle, so it was nice that they were there and got the whole deal.
The other thing too, Lee, is the Coliseum turns were the straightaways were very narrow. When you came out of the corners, turn especially 1 and 2, 3 and 4 was the same. When you would exit, you couldn't really be on that outside because the outside went really far, but then it squared off really quick. So, did I leave him in your room? None, no, not at all. But that was also a very, very tight straightaway track as well.
I think Kenny was committed, and I think he needed to either shut it off or turn back or do something, but I think he just sort of just went in. Rest is history.
Well, even the lap before that, his elbows were under my chin, and
right over the start line, wasn't it?
I'm not going to give in. I'm going to keep going too. So
it was rough.
Sometimes when you tie handlebars like that, somebody's going to go down. So I was pretty fortunate not to go down at that time as well. Same with him,
Someone's just put DJ should have poached Eddie Ball from you, Bruce.
Eddie, steady Eddie. He was a great motor guy, and gosh, he and I when I first started, we went to all the tracks, man. It was great. Eddie's a very quiet guy, and Betty was like a mom to me. And then Carrie, their daughter, she was just a little baby at that time. And yeah, we spent tons of nights together and tons of days together at his house in Tamworth, helping clean the motorcycle, and then we got Mikey. Mikey came over, and Eddie just would strictly work on the motors while Mikey was maintaining all the bikes. And of course, Jürgen in Germany, he was doing all the stuff in Germany for us.
The engines
Great team.
Pretty cool. Colin Richardson there, Lee Richardson's dad, Colin there. Good evening from Dubai. He's working over in Dubai now. I've been speaking to him quite a few times. Going to try and get him on for an interview. He said, "You're looking good, mate." See?
Hey, Colin, how are you? You know, I've been seeing pictures of Dubai a lot. I kind of wouldn't mind cruising over there sometime and looking at it.
Yeah.
Gosh, water looks beautiful. I'm a water guy, man.
Mm.
I like the water nowadays.
A bit more, look a bit California-y, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Home from home, it could be for you there. Look, my friend just went there as well not long ago, and Kevin, and he says it's really nice. He's been there a few times.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Should definitely check it out. Someone said when you said about the team, because I'm miles behind on all their questions. Someone said about you were asked to go to Halifax. Can't imagine Bruce and Kay in the same team.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I thought for sure that I was going to Halifax too. You know, and then Martin Rogers at that time was he was running the Kings Lynn team, and so he was real close to. But Dan McCormick came up with such a great plan for me, and made it a lot easier on me, a place to live, so and I get it, man. It's they don't know if that rider, any particular rider, is going to make it, and it's to spend a lot of money. And of course, back in those days, we had to hold a 6-point average. Look at the kids today. I mean, Brock Nickel and Little Rummel, they couldn't even go back and ride on a team. But so it's an expense for the promoters, and they take a risk of bringing a guy over. And I was thankful to Dan McCormick, and besides him being an amazing man and promoter, he everything he said he was going to do for me, he did. That doesn't happen a lot. I mean, there's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of great promoters. There really are, but some, don't come through with the deal.
Yeah.
Same with the rider. Sometimes riders promise a lot of things that they don't accomplish too,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it goes both ways. Cole just put, did Billy or Ziggy ever try to get you to sign for Ipswich? And what did you think of the Ipswich track?
Well, I was before Ziggy, meaning in England. Billy, Billy was a great friend of mine.
Yeah, you're close to him. Yeah.
Billy was an amazing guy. God, we had some fun in Aussie, fun in the States. No, I was already signed. I didn't really know Billy until after I started racing. I mean, I did a couple of the troop races, they call them, Ivan and Barry Briggs. We went to Israel and rode there, and believe it or not, I got to ride with Ovi Fundin.
Wow.
Yeah, he was racing. He raced at the Israel ride.
Wow.
We rode on a track that was a running track.
Yeah.
And they made us cut all of our knobbies off the tires because they didn't want us to ruin the track. Everybody, and Ivan was a promoter along with Barry. Everybody had to cut their knobbies off except for Ivan.
I love that.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
But some of those times are amazing, I mean, geez. And the Aussie trips that we made, I used to stay in Aussie for about 2 months during the off season. And I one of my houses with Bondi Beach, are you kidding? Topless beach. That's what my view from my window was, even though I was racing a lot, but it was very, very cool. I had some great times in Aussie. Brizzy.
Colin just said, look, come over. It's Las Vegas of the golf.
Yeah, great. I'd love to see it, Colin. That's for sure.
Yeah, Colin will hook you up somewhere that would be good. I was just looking at look at this picture here.
I think that's Ascot.
Is it?
I think the opening night at Ascot Speedway and the short track, and I rode in the tux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Classic.
I look a little frightened to death there, don't I?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope this goes all right.
Yeah.
What did you think of those indoor tracks like you used to race? Obviously, I think some of them was in London, wasn't it? And stuff like that on the, was it Wembley?
NEC in Birmingham.
NEC. Sorry, yeah. NEC, yeah.
They were tough. They were. We pumped those tires up and, they were fun. Don't get me wrong. They were really fun. Schwartzy was really good at them. Who was the Swede that won all those?
Jan Anderson was always good.
Jan Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really good on those too. I don't think I won many. I think I only did like maybe 2 years or 2 times or something like that.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a different, easy to maintain the track, right? Never have to worry about the dirt or dust.
Not sure about the old ice hockey looking barriers though.
Right.
Yeah. Trying to get too messy on them. What did you think about like the long track, grass track side of things as well? Did you enjoy that side?
Yeah, I really did. It paid really well.
Right.
I mean, man, it was amazing, especially the German ones. And I was in Germany most every weekend, but I wasn't very good at it. I really wasn't. I mean, I think I was reserve in one long track final. I liked it, but I was just so more dedicated to Speedway but I loved long track. I mean, I broke a couple of track records, I think, and I crashed on a couple of them. They were awesome to be tucked in, but I just never was really that good at it. Grass tracks, some of them were really rough, and it teaches you. Come on, Ray. It teaches you, though. I mean, not that Speedway tracks were very rough, but yeah, they were great times.
So how did this all come about then with Ziggy there? Obviously, I'm sure, didn't you become a world champion with doing the...
We won the world championship 5 times, Ziggy and I. So I was racing when I finished up, and I always loved boats. My dad was a boat racer, and I had an offer from an Englishman, Nigel Hook, who's still huge into offshore boats. He says, hey, come and race with me in my boat. You could, because there's a driver, guy's got the wheel, and then there's a throttle man. So I drove, and I loved it. I absolutely had a great time. I did 1 season with him. The next season, we're getting close. I said, Ziggy, we got to race offshore boats. And Dennis's dad, Master Tony, we call him, funded our project. And we found some really good sponsors. In fact, Ocean Spray was a very big client of Master Tony's business, which he was very big in the catering business, and Dennis still is in the catering business. And we had some really good sponsors, but Master Tony, he was the main guy behind us, and it was amazing. It was tough sometimes being inside the canopy, 100-degree weather, and the races were 100 miles long. So it'd take us an hour, but plus I was getting a little bit older, and I was a little bit of afraid of it now and then, especially the big swells when it was 4 or 5 foot swells. And Siggy, Dennis was an amazing throttleman. He picked it up so quick. He was a great throttleman. He actually raced a couple more years afterwards as a throttleman for somebody else. But yeah, we did it. We won 5 out of the 6 years that we raced, and we both, we've had enough. We said it was time. Plus, I was with my kids again, and the way I felt that it was time for my kids to have fun and let them race their motorcycles.
Looks scary fast.
Oh man, I think we broke the record one year, 132 miles an hour or something like that. Our boats were 40 foot long, 2,000 horsepower motors in them. Oh my God, and if it was rough, you're in the air most of the time.
Yeah, sketchy.
And I think that's also what kind of bothered my neck.
Yeah, like a G-force thing of it as well.
No suspension, beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, you feel all that. And I just went on a little small one with about 8 passengers on it. I didn't fancy that. My back was killing every time I went.
Yeah,
not good. So there you were, like I said, that was a pretty cool experience overall anyway. But
very cool. Yeah, and again, we won those world championships, and it was great for us. Yeah.
Got to count all them world championships up now. Run out of fingers here, Bruce.
I think I have 9 from both. 4 from Speedway, and then 5 from Powerboats. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, Mr. David Norris just come back, our Eastbourne man. He's just put, I'm back, Bruce and Lee. Whoa. My dad never believed he'd get a message from a true legend. Can't thank you enough. Also, my sister Sarah has fell in love again. Bruce is gorgeous, though. Thanks again.
Oh, you're too nice, David. No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
I think that's made his dad happy as well, so that's really nice because he's been quite ill as well. So
that's great.
Much appreciated. He's also that. Yeah, that's nice. Does Bruce see Sledge at all? Do you know who that is? Rod Sanders?
Yeah, Sledge. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's still in Redondo Beach area, but no, I haven't spoke to Sledge in a while. Kind of went missing a little bit from us for a while.
Someone's just put that. I remember some of the riders did that. Greggy has just put. Jan Anderson used to put hair lacquer on his tires. I've heard of that one.
Geez, yeah, I don't remember that. We used to cut them in different ways, back in the day.
Yeah. Another rider as well, Gary O'Hare. He's put Bruce loved the West Lakes. He's got some nice bikes now still as well, Gary.
Yeah, Gary does. He's racing a lot of the, what do we call, the old timers races or the old Westlake days? Yeah.
That right engine jobs. Yeah.
I would love to go back and see one of those or one of these days, maybe. Yeah. It'd be great.
Everyone asked me before I come on here, said, have you ever got any plans to drop into the UK again at any point?
Yeah, I do. I don't have the plans to, but I would like to, I'd like to visit some of my old buddies back there for sure. Just so busy at the office. It's, and I also have, a new grandson too. I have 3 grandkids, but my daughter, he's now about a year and a half old. So my wife and I spend a lot of time with him,
nice.
because she's working a lot and we love the grandkids anyway. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of work, and it sure is nice to hand them back to their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. That's what keeps you young, let's see, doing all this running around after kids.
You get used to that quiet time, when your kids are all grown up and out and stuff. And then all of a sudden, here they come, all the little youngsters, and it's crazy, loud, noisy, having fun. And man, I remember that.
So got Darren Reynolds here, just put, hi Bruce, the best race I ever saw was a Bruce and Kenny Golden Helmet at the Shea in Halifax. Amazing racing. Thanks for such a great memories, and stay well, mate.
Yeah, those Golden Helmet races were good. I think I didn't win it. I won the Golden Helmet. I think I lost it to Hands, I think.
There we go.
I think it was hands white when I lost it. But those were, I mean, when you do match races, you want to put a good show on for the crowd. It's like you win one, I'll win one, and then we're racing for the last one.
Yeah.
Not with the golden helmet. You're going out there to win it.
Yeah.
You want to beat them, right away, So,
Yeah.
but when we used to have the fun little, match races, we call them, it was really to let the supporters love it. And it came down to the very last one.
Yeah. Because I found out from my uncle Martin Ashby, who had the golden helmet quite a bit in the 70s, and he said that because he ended up with it like before the winter break, that he actually got paid to keep it throughout the winter until the new season started as well. So he actually was getting money, apparently. So it was a good little earlier, apparently. So
yeah, maybe I should have won that a few more times. You know what else I never won too was the Golden Hammer at Cradley.
Oh,
I never
yeah,
won that, and that was a big race at Cradley Heath.
Massive.
That was a bummer because I wanted to win it really bad, but I never won it.
I think Eric and Simon Cross were on here boasting about them.
Yeah, Cross, you would, of course, you would.
He was going, look, they have one of these.
Yeah.
Well, that was brilliant. But like you said, they were like a Grand Prix, wasn't it? It was like it was like a world final, probably even stronger than some of the world finals.
It was a strong individual, open meeting for sure. It was
number ones all the way.
I think Autry even won it too. I think Scott Autry won. Yeah, I think so.
Everyone would have just presumed you've won one of them.
Yeah, no, I did not. Yeah. Like I said, you win a few and you lose a lot.
Yeah. I think I'd rather win the ones you won, though, to be honest.
I can't. I'm not complaining.
No, 100%.
Yep.
I loved all these little quirky. I've got a sticker like this of my dad as well, like this as well. I used to love these.
Oh, right.
All those with the cartoon character ones.
Yep.
All the fans love them. I've got one. I've actually got it on the mouse mat here of my dad. Look.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I remember that. You bet. Yeah.
Love them ones as well. So, who did you idolize when you were young then, Bruce? Was you sort of into the bikes in general before you got into it? Was there any heroes you had in America?
Oh, absolutely. That's what got me. My dad sponsored Rick Woods back in 1972. Yeah. And so we didn't live far from Costa Mesa, and he took us to a couple of those races. And of course, back in that time, it was Rick Woods against the Bass brothers and also Danny Becker. And and of course, Bill Cody and Big Mike Conley. I really liked all of them. I was a huge Rick Woods fan because my dad sponsored him. But as we progressed, I became really close with Mike Bast. We rode together on the LA Sprockets team. And to this day, Mike was one of my biggest mentors. He was never afraid. And I was starting to go pretty good at that time too. Some of the riders didn't want to tell you a lot of the tricks because they didn't want you to beat them. And I totally get that. But Mike was the opposite. He gave me information more than anyone could ever ask for. Seriously. I mean, and he was really good. He didn't want, to be away from his kids and move to England and race in the British League. But I truly think if he did, he would have been a champion, Yeah. But Mike was during our era, he was the guy. And then you think there's Crazy Alan Christian. Alan was really good, but Mike Bast, Rick Woods, and Danny Bezerko Becker, those guys were iconic back in our day. And Steve Bass, Mike's brother. But Mike and I spent a lot of good times together, and I learned so much from him. And he, to this day, I saw him at the Connor Cup. He and Deanne came out. Deanne's, his wife's a sweetheart, had a great time with them. And, I'll never forget it. Like Peter Collins, same thing. He was truly, a mentor to me and helpful and a very, very good friend.
That's cool. I've just got loads of people asking me questions. I've got another rider here as well. That's cool. Ricky Ashworth did a written one with him the other day and put it up on Facebook and everything. Great to see a superstar on.
Well, I'm about superstar, ex-racer. Yeah.
Talking about stars, I've got the pictures of this. This was cool when you did this. I went through all the pictures. Here we go. Superstar.
Oh, geez. Yeah. That Superstars, when I did it,
yeah,
I got back to the Golden Hammer was on the Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished doing the Superstars and I got home late, and I think I missed my first heat one of the years too for the Golden Hammer at Cradley. But that Superstars was so trying on my body. Oh my, I kicked my ass. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were super busy, man, doing a lot of physical activity stuff. It was great though. I loved it.
I did have a picture of you with I think George Best as well, obviously the Man United footballer, and this was obviously Jeff Capes, our strong man in the UK.
Yeah.
Was that so? Was that pretty good? Was that fun? Obviously, it sounded like it hurt more than it was fun, but
yeah, and they knew. I mean, and I can't remember why. I think just the filming of the Superstars took long that day. That's why I got to the race a little bit late. But you're never supposed to be to a race late, So that wasn't good either. But it was my fault.
Yeah. I just had a text off of Andy Graham as well, and he just put, "Hi Lee, I'm enjoying the interview with Bruce. My brother Big Al won the Golden Hammer as well. Best wishes to you both."
Yeah, that's right. Big Al did win. Yeah. Nice to hear from Alan.
Yeah,
good people, man.
So, absolutely. He came to my wedding as well, Andy, in Jill.
Oh,
so
did
yeah, perfect. Really nice. Yeah, it was really good. There's someone's even put, "Think Kenny won the Golden Hammer twice as well." I'm just saying.
Guys are letting me have it today, aren't you? I deserve it.
Is that Alan? It might be Alan. I speak to Alan Carr a little bit. It's good for you. He's a funny guy as well. Collins just put, "Bruce brought flair and showmanship to the sport, and his persona make sure the fans came in the door. It's missing now. There isn't a personality as big as his anymore. He was more than a rider."
That's very nice of you, Colin. Appreciate that. Like I said, everybody's got a little bit of a different personality, and you're brought up certain ways, but to me, the fans were everything, and I certainly appreciated that. I loved winning, and I loved giving back as much as I possibly could. It meant a lot to me. I don't care if it was like a little 2-year-old that didn't know who the heck you were, but would hold a piece of paper up and hand you a pen to sign it. That's what it's all about. Just be kind to others, Yeah,
you've definitely been that. That was cool, because everyone obviously, of course everyone puts you up on that pedestal of being the star, but you were so down to earth and nice. I think that's extra special as well, and people don't forget that, and they've all got the memories of it. So that's really nice.
I think that's what the most important thing is. I mean, hey, we're racers, and great. I mean, I won the world championship, but it doesn't mean I'm any different from any other person, or that guy's any different than him. I'm certainly grateful. Don't get me wrong. And I'm totally honored. And these Hall of Fames that I've been inducted into, I'm totally honored and thankful for that. But, it doesn't mean I'm the king of the world. We have to continue on doing what we do every single day. Your attitude towards other people is so very important. It's, just be nice to others, hey, great that I can tell you that some of the stuff that I used to see on some of these different sets with actors used to blow my mind. It's like, wow, that guy can really get away with that, or that girl can really get away with doing that. It's like, just because you're an actor or just because you're a world championship doesn't mean you can treat people in a different way. Okay. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that.
That's why I loved the thing that my dad used to come out with near the end of his days. And he said, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Absolutely.
And I quote that after every interview from day one. So yeah, that was nice. And actually, Graham's got me that T-shirt as well with that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So on this as well, this is very cool. I've got to drop his name, Mr. Steve Irvin. He does all these. How super cool that is.
Steve does a fantastic job. And then Mossy. I mean, I've gotten some great Mossy as well. I've gotten some great photos from these guys, and I love them, man. They're great.
Eric as well. I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah, that. Gun of the Wonder. Yeah, the glare hit. That's Gun of the Wonder. Yeah.
I've got. He's got me Michael Lee, Gary Havelock, and he done one of my dad at the top there as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
so
great.
Cool. Very cool to have him. Much appreciated by him. So people need to check them out. So I'm going to put you under pressure with it. Well, not under pressure, but we would like to know your favourite 1 to 7 of a Cradley team as you as the team manager. A few people asked me this.
Okay, see that question from Sean right there? Let me answer that first.
Yeah, you can answer that one first.
What I think of the half mile, half mile?
Yeah.
I can remember, it was great, but I remember having to put cardboard on the inside of your leathers because it was a clay track. You would, and of course, if you're not winning, you're behind, you're getting beat up. I would have welts all over my body. And that's, then we didn't really have hand guards back in those days. You had to make them out of cardboard and stuff. But the Ascot Mile was really cool. I learned a lot there. Speed and, and then we had the dual transmissions, and then all of a sudden towards the end, we had the lever that we could shift in the second, but I never rode a bike on a half mile with suspension. I think Sean Moran did, but the half mile was great. I loved it. Okay. So Lee, you said, who was my favorite Cradley team? Who was on it?
Yeah. So you'd be the manager.
Who would I have on it now?
Yes. 1 to 7. Yeah.
Okay. So I would probably have, but I'm talking my era.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, your era. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Era. Peter Collins.
Okay.
Michael Lee.
Yeah. He's on the board behind me.
Dennis Segalis. Kelly Moran. How many is that?
That's 4. I think we've gone over the average now.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
You want 7 of them, right?
Yes, that's 4. So we got Peter Collins, Michael Lee, Dennis Segalos, Kelly Moran,
Scott Autry, Sean Moran, and Bobby Schwartz. Is that 7?
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
So that would be your times 7 for Cradley.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
You know what? I mean, I really should have had Ollie and Ivan in there too, though.
I mean, it's endless, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And then people will be like, "What about me? What about you? What about you?"
Back in those days, are you kidding? Gosh, remember the rider pole? Holy mackerel!
Oh wow, that was like back then. The number ones around was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, even like you Americans, there was like at least 12 of you guys over here were like number ones.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you look at it now, like how different it is.
I tell you what, though, I really like Luke Becker. I think he's gotten injured a couple of times this year, which is really unfortunate, man. I mean, and it sets you back. I was amazed to see when he came off his first break. Yeah. He won the qualifier the first day back from being injured. Usually after that, especially, back in our era, it took a good few weeks to get back into the rhythm of racing. And because you were racing so many nights, that you weren't in that kind of shape. It's not like you could go practice back in those days. None of the tracks would let you practice. So it was tough, but he came back really quick, from that injury, which was great to see. And then, of course, he got injured again. Is he back riding now?
What's that?
Is Luke back again, or is he?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't seen if he's back riding again or not. But I did because I did an interview with him as well, and he's a nice young man as well. He was doing well as well. He's been riding really well for Wolves.
Yeah. He's a great kid.
Yeah, he's a talent. Hopefully he can push on, and hopefully maybe get someone, an American, back in the Grand Prix would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he'd probably be the next one,
Yeah, I imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely doing
Gino
well.
Manzares, he's over there. He's racing Swedish League, though, I think, right? Just?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's another one I don't know about. Cool. So getting lovely comments off of everyone. Never guessed that my mum's one of them. She's put, Bruce Penhall is making me cry. He is so nice.
Oh, your mom's too nice. I love Jenny. I don't even know her, but I think she's a sweetheart and beautiful.
Certainly mad about you. I think everyone is on it.
Oh,
David's put, Bruce's style was original and became an American way of riding, basically leg back hanging off it. He was this natural, or possibly a Costa Mesa thing.
I tell everybody that I think for the Americans, the short tracks that back in those days had good grip were a great training area for us, because if you didn't make a start, at least you could pass because there was dirt. And tight, small tracks are a great way to really learn how to race a speedway bike. So I think it was really helpful to me, and apart from all that, and it's very important, don't get me wrong, those tracks, the small tracks, and then riding on the big tracks, it's huge. But like I tell everybody, you have to want it. I mean, it's gotta be in your heart, and the sacrifices that you have to make is huge. And of course, keeping all those pieces of the puzzle together, I mean, it's tough, and it's mentally challenging. And some can deal with it and some can't, but you have to want it. It can't be just, I'm just doing it because the money's good, or, I'm doing it because I like to sign autographs. It's not about that. This has got to be what you want to do.
Yeah, you had the passion, the will to win, and the drive, self-drive. Because like you said, going over, so many people forget that you're coming literally out of your own country, total culture shock, and then thrown in at the deep end when you're a youngster. Pretty much turns you into a man in a few hours, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, and the traveling we did, and, I remember going all the way to Exeter and getting rained out. It took us 4 hours to get there. I mean, the furthest track in California is like only 20 minutes away or an hour away. In the old days, that is. But and see, I was California guy, man. I was used to the sun. And I remember my first year in England, I think we saw the sun maybe about 5 times, We didn't wear shorts in England then. Too bloody cold,
See, you were counting as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, it was totally different way of life. That's for sure.
I'm at. Can you see the water, or is it too glary?
Yeah, it's too glary. Yeah.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, that's the lake right
here. That's you as well, is it?
It's 114 degrees here today, but I'm in the air conditioning house right now. So.
Oh yeah. I love the air conditioning.
Yeah, I think it's probably because the. Can you see it now? No.
Oh, hang on. It's start. Oh yeah, we can now. It's starting to sort of like.
Open the window.
Wow. that just like a little jog, little run down the path, and dump?
Yeah, that's anyway. So yeah, I'm used to it.
Beautiful.
I was used to the heat, and I didn't have that in Britain when I first moved there. It was
No, didn't have that problem.
tough.
You had to get a good coat, Bruce.
Yeah.
Everyone was mentioning it. David says Bruce is like therapy. Honestly, can't believe his loving and grateful attitude of life. Vote Bruce for president. You need one, don't you?
Don't get me started in politics, okay?
Yeah, get in there, Bruce. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, look, my mum just put, I'm voting, and that's the best therapy ever. Oh, here we go as well. Paul Lavender's put, the best race I ever saw at Cradley, don't know the year, but Michael Lee was on top form. Bruce was nearly touching the pit's gate, and Michael Lee went round and beat him.
Michael Lee, I say to this day, Michael Lee was the hardest guy for me to race, as was PC, because PC was so good from the back, as was Michael, you know. And Michael was really fast. I mean, even at the in Sweden at our the 80 World Final, you know, he passed me, and he was tremendous on a motorcycle. You know, he was kind of tall and lanky, and same with PC. And PC was he was really, really good from the back. You know, and hey, there wasn't a lot of guys that were really good from the back in those days. And that's when we had dirt on the tracks. Now they're like, you know, an ice rink, you know. But yeah, Michael and PC were probably two of the toughest guys for me to ever race against.
Even when you see that, like, even I keep going back to that DVD because I can't let it go. But even then, like, you had a little bit of dirt and you're chasing the dirt and you can pass. It's like, that's so good to watch as well. And it must be much better for the riders as well, because when you just see them gate and they all follow each other for 4 laps, it's like, oh.
And you got to remember, you know, when you're riding on the outside, you're going twice the distance too. So you have to be, you can't be too far out in the grip. You just want to just be far enough that it's hooking up, and yeah, you are progressing, because you could get too far out there and he could gain 6 bike lengths on you, you know? Yeah. So, but Wembley, oh gosh, I remember coming with the race with Ollie, and I came back and came underneath him, hoping that I was going to pass him, but he had good speed. And I remember my front wheel, I went like this. I turned it to the right 2 times, hit his rear wheel to hopefully think to move him out, and it didn't phase him. You know, he didn't move at all. And then the other turn, we went down and we both went out to the outside and we both lifted, you know. So I'll never forget it. It's like it happened yesterday to me, the 81 World Final.
So good. That's a DVD watch over and over, the racing.
Yeah.
Like you said, you couldn't have scripted it better, like with Pippin on the line and all that. And it's crazy. I love watching that DVD still now. Yeah, I was going to say to you as well, a few people mentioned that, like, if you ever do get to come over to the UK, we could probably organize like a night with BP or something like that. Would be really cool. You know, yeah, and I've been asked a few times. I just need to schedule it and do it, you know, because that'd be great. I'd love a night and love questions, you know, and I don't mind, you know, telling the truth, telling it like it really was, including the intercontinental final, the overseas final. I was actually going to discuss that. I didn't know if you wanted to or not. Oh yeah, I don't care. I mean, I really don't, because like I said, you know, people want the truth, you know, and I had good enough points that I was going to qualify. Yeah. Never, ever is the draw you're going to have 4 Americans in it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, when we saw that race that night, I'm going, what? Hang on. I got to pick up my guard dog. Oh, sorry, bud. Hey, yeah. That's Bruno. He's my guard dog. Hello, Bruno. Anyway, to get back to that race overseas. Yeah. Never will we get a draw like that. So, and of course,
the 82 World Final was going to come up, and we wanted to try to get as many Yanks in that as we could too, you know?
Mm.
And so I had agreed on letting the guys go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I knew I was going to have enough points. My biggest mistake, being an idiot, was doing the wheelies. Okay.
Yeah,
and I'll admit that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Okay.
Mm.
I wasn't going to look good no matter what, even if I went through the tapes or I looked down and my bike broke or something. But what I did was really wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
What I tried to do was get a couple of the other Yanks in and qualify, but I shouldn't have done stupid wheelies. That was stupid. Okay. And I fully admit that. And that's my bad. Totally.
Yeah. I think because that's what exactly the words I had in my question was, obviously that sort of thing happened all the time, didn't it? Like riders would help teammates out, even in individual things, not even necessarily from their own country, maybe, or if they were a team guy with them and things like that. I've seen all sorts of things. Guys would pay each other or whatever they would do. But like you said, I think that was probably what rubbed everyone up the wrong way, is when he was doing the wheelies at the back, and it sort of obviously.
And I don't blame him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't blame people for getting yeah. I should have had an engine failure, you know?
Yeah.
But I can't change things that's already happened. I can't look back at it, but I can fully admit that I was an idiot for doing wheelies, for sure, you know? But, you know, we had Harry Oxley was there, you know, because Harry was really into us, you know, because the final was coming up, and
working it on.
Truly a great man. I love Harry Oxley, and we discussed it. We even had Brigo with us, you know, and I said, "Yep, let him go. I'll be in the back," you know. And I still got third. I still was on the podium that night, but I did it the wrong way, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, you got more countrymen into a final in your own country. So any of the other countries would have done the same thing. So,
yeah, never know.
Never know. But like you said there, look, Gary's just put, would be brilliant to have you at a Westlake Day.
Yeah, you know,
be like a week thing, wouldn't it? It has to be like a week thing, and then get to a few things organized.
You know, Roy Miller hit me up. I had lunch with Roy. He came out to the States a year ago or so, and we went and had breakfast, and he said I should try to get to the Westlake Day. Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'm a Wesy guy all the way. Thanks to PC. Peter Collins is the one that introduced me to Westlake. He did. We took a drive down there and got hooked up with the team, and it was great.
Yeah, that's it. Dave just said the same thing, Bruce. You've got to come over and do a UK and do a sportsman's evening and stuff like that. Yeah, it would be cool. Hopefully we could do that sometime. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
We'll
have to figure that out.
Yeah, that would be really cool. We'll keep in touch on that. What are we like for time, Bruce? You got to get your beers in and have a chill.
That's right, man. Got to get in that water here pretty soon.
Yeah. So I will leave you there with it, but I'll have to have another catch up with you again soon, because everyone loves these. They absolutely love them. I've not even done half of my questions, not even touched it.
You know, I really like. I haven't done one of these in a while. They were pretty popular during all the COVID crap, you know, and it's like, why do they want to talk to me, man? I did this like 40 years ago, right? But I always like chatting with you. Yeah, I really do, Lee. And like I said, I'd really rather talk to your mom than you.
Like I said, she would as well. So
no, but thanks for having me on, and I appreciate it. And you know, the most important thing for me is to be straight up and honest. And you know, I so appreciate everything that happened with me over in England, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my team, you know. Yeah. I don't think the team, they ever get enough credit, you know, but we couldn't do it without, you know, the team we had, family and friends, and I like chatting about it. I really do.
We'll definitely have to do another one then when we can. And but for me to be able to do this with you, it's super cool for me.
Anytime.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Bruce. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do appreciate you coming on, especially in your breakaway. I hope you have a good day out on the lake.
Oh, I will.
A couple of cold ones out of that aircon once you get out of that aircon.
Yeah, my brother's here, my
Oh, no.
sister-in-law, my cousin Dave and his wife, Deb's here, Siggy's wife. She's across the street at their place, and Siggy's coming out tomorrow morning. So yeah, we're gonna have a good couple days. The lake's beautiful today, and yeah, it's time for me to have a Coors Light.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks ever so much, Bruce. And say hi to Ziggy for me, and I'll get him. I'm going to chase him up anyway.
Sounds great, man. Yeah, I'll let him know too. Okay.
Thank you very much. Much love to you.
Much
love to you, Bruce. Thank you, mate.
Appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Thanks to your wife as well for helping. Thank you.
Thanks for all the questions too. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you ever so much. Much love. Cheers, Bruce.
Thanks.
What a man. See how hot oh, it's madness, isn't it? I'm actually hot. Oh, mental. Absolutely mental. Just a kid in Swindon in a spare room. Thanks, Poppy, for your spare room. Absolutely classic. But yeah, I'll keep speaking to Bruce, and if he's ever gonna come over, we could sort out a week or something like that. I'd love, because I've been thinking about doing some nights with stars for an evening and things like that anyway. So we were going to do it. Me and Kevin, my buddy, were going to do it for the Motocross and Spear Memories before the COVID, actually. And then, of course, the COVID comes, so that scrapped all that. So we have actually got an idea of doing a few of them, maybe some Motocross ones and Speedway ones. So imagine getting Bruce Penhall over. He comes over for a week, does a Westlake day with Gary, things like that. And an evening with fans and things like that, have some food and stuff like that, or maybe at a hotel or something. We could organise something like that. That'd be super cool, wouldn't it? Imagine that. I need to go and watch the 81 DVD again. I'm sure Lainey would be bang up for that for tonight. Come off here and go, babe, we'll go have something to eat, sweetheart, and then we're going to get the DVD on 1981 World Final at Wembley. What we saying? Hearing the old Wembley race was a kind of both lifting fashion. Now the time later, now he's rubbing the Great Dane's wheel to make him make a mistake. The race is still giving. It is, mate, isn't it? Honestly, I literally watched it back again not long ago, and I was just like, you couldn't have made it up, could you? If he was like, we were talking about like even the chips thing, and they were recording and saying that, you know, the part of the story was that he was a world champion and all that was mental. But just watching all them races at Wembley, it was just like everything was on the line. I remember the chasing Tommy Knudsen for the 4 laps and then passing him on the line. The Ollie Olsen one, passing him on the line. It looked like it was done and dusted. Then passing him on the line. Like you said, he just needed to, even PC, like I didn't know that. PC gave him the advice to keep out the way of Kenny in that last race. He needed a point, just tuck him behind him and take the second, because obviously he might have a run at you. Didn't know that one. So obviously PC and Bruce had a special relationship as well. So who knew that he got that advice off PC before that last race? Thanks, buddy. All the pleasure is mine to be able to do it. Flipping unbelievable. Cheers, lads. Much appreciated for coming on, everyone. Some of the questions were, like I said to Bruce, I didn't get that. I was on about number 4 or something of my like 35 questions. And then obviously if I see your questions that are like mine anyway, I always ask yours first so that you can get your names up on the screen and that with Bruce. Nick ever get tired of listening to Bruce interviews, true legend, entertaining riders during some of the best years of Speedy. If only we could get those years back. I know. Thanks for coming on, Ricky, as well. I hope you're good, buddy, and I hope your dad's good. Give me a message and let me know how your dad and you are. Hopefully you can get out. I hope you're doing a bit of camping out in the old motorhome, are you? I'd love to have one of them. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for coming on, buddy. But maybe we can get that Westlake day. Imagine that, getting Bruce over. Maybe he could get a week over here as well. Obviously, it sounds like he's always close with PC. He'd probably go and stay with Peter as well. And then imagine we could bring Peter as well. And how cool would that be? We could have a night with Bruce Penhall and Peter Collins. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Then I'll get hold of John Davis, get him on the stage as well. We could go all out. How cool would that be? Oh yeah, he was amazing. Yeah, might have to, may. Thanks for coming on, Sean. Loved watching you when I grew up. You were the first sort of rider I remember doing proper wheelies at the Abbey, and that was really cool. And then we would go up in the pits after you riders got out of the pits and pretend to be Speedway riders with all the plastic. They used to put the old the whole sheet in there, like a big square one on the front back then. But we used to go and pretend to be Speedway riders in the pits with me, Lee Kilby, and my brother, and Neil Lockwell, and all the guys. No worries, Dave. No worries. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on. No problem, Andrew. I'm going to doing these interviews there. Oh, thanks, mate. I'm the lucky one, buddy. Getting to even just little things like got Bruce's number and like texting all these mega stars, like messaging this man. Me and Dave got to keep trying to keep the bromance going, buddy. Oh, therapy, buddy, eh? Wow. You was there at Wembley as well. My mum was there as well. But my dad got rid of her autograph after she kept talking about him too much, apparently. Speedway rival rage. I went to a Lance King evening pre-COVID. It was packed out in the venue. Yeah, I'm gathering if we did it, I'd have to go to the Midlands way, wouldn't I? I'd have to go like Cradley way, Birmingham. I'd have to go that way, wouldn't it? Black Country. Yes, he's on here as well, buddy. It's been super cool, isn't it? Loads of riders come on tonight. Yourself, Sean McConnell, Gary O'Hare. I think Gary Stead was on here earlier as well. I don't know if you've seen all that. Who else came on? Mr. Richardson come on as well. He's in Dubai as well, so he's even checking in from Dubai. Like, how sweet is that? Oh, yes, he's a hero to us all here as well, bud. Get knighted. Just a cheese sandwich, Dave. That's all I want. It's a cheese sandwich on a fishing bank with you. That'd do me. I could get someone could give me £10 million now, and I'll be like, let's go to Devon and have a cheese baguette. 100%. Get me a plain cheese sandwich. Definitely no mayo. And get me on a fishing bank with David Norris spilling the beans on some stories that we can't put on here. That'll do me. Lovely. That's all right. No problem at all. Bruce is always honest. But I did do a cool interview, if none of you have seen that, on my YouTube channel. I did a cool interview with Kenny's brother, Alan Carr, as well, the road racer, because he was a class rider and won a GP as well. And we had a great chat with him. That was cool. He loves Bruce as well. Yes, we'll definitely do a part 2. I did do a Skype, like I said, with Bruce about 3 years ago, but that's actually still on my YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, you can also check out on my YouTube channel. I did a live a couple of years ago with him and Eric Gunderson together. That was pretty special. Yeah, I pretty much nearly cried that night. No jokes. What else? Who else did I surprise Bruce? Oh yeah, I'm talking about Lance King. I did if you want to check that out as well, that's on my YouTube channel. I did a one with Lance King and surprised him with Bruce, bringing him on as well. So that was pretty cool as well. Certainly was, Mark. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong there. I thought you were talking about Bruce Penhall there. I just realised you said PC. Yes, I'm definitely going to do a second part with Bruce Penhall. Obviously, I'll have to do the same again, get the big speaker out and get him on the home phone, but we'll take it any way we can. And did enjoy the first one as well. So if anyone didn't know that I'd done that about a month ago, so that's on my YouTube channel as well with PC. And like I said, it took me, that's a true story. It took me, I can't remember how I got his home number. Can't remember how he gave it to me, but it took me a few days to pluck up the courage to ring him because I don't really like talking on the phone anyway. He says while I'm on here, but I feel comfortable in this little spare room in the middle of Swindon. But I literally took me a few days to build up the courage to ring Peter Collins, and then his wife answered, and she goes, "I'll just go and get him from the garden." And I'm like, "Oh my god," it's like sweating. And yeah, he agreed to do it. This was about a year or so ago before he was doing his books. He said he would do one after he's done his book. So then he obviously said to me he didn't really want to be on the screen and stuff like that. So I was thinking, oh my god, how am I going to do this? So then I got the big speaker and had him on the home phone number, and we did it like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And it worked okay. So definitely got to go for the part 2. That would be so good, Lee. Penhall, Peter Collins, and Rundares. Remember that night at Wembley yesterday? Yeah, you imagine that. So I was like making ideas there as we were talking, weren't we? So I know he's close for Peter Collins, so he would probably go and he probably would stay with him as well. Got the brain ticking. So when I ring up Peter Collins, I'll ring him up and do when I get the courage again. Well, why don't we do that part 2 with Peter? And how about could you do a B&B for Bruce Penhall? Soon he's going to come over for the week, if that's all right. And would you like to do an evening with? And I'd love to host that. And then we'll throw in for good measure. We'll bring John Davis as well to say everything that we want to say but can't say, but John will. I've got to do a part 3 with John and I. Those 2 interviews with John was absolutely mental. Surprised I didn't get thrown off here. Jesus, that was fun. But look at all these photos. I'll just quickly go for some of these photos I didn't even get to show Bruce, but a few older ones back. Look. Cool one there, look. The old Penhall van. Look like the 18 van there, look. Look at them levers. Wonder who's got them. Some cool ones here. Just flick through these. My dad actually had that exact blue helmet. I've got that exact blue helmet there, that bow helmet. The guy in the blue on the inside. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but I've got that exact helmet that my dad had when he did a comeback ride for the Golden Grape meeting things, where he duly broke his ankle on the first lap at Swindon. And I was sat on the centre green with my brother. Jesus, that was an eye-opener. There's a few of these pictures look I didn't get to bring up on the screen, and I'm sure when I have him back on again. Remember that on any Sunday? Legendary. He was always just cool in every way, wasn't he? Cool off the bike, cool on the bike. I think that's at Swindon as well. So that little bit there, the little tower thing there, that's where me and my brother were sat on there in 1988. So I was 11 years old, and Jamie must have been about 7, and we were both sat where that little tower thing is there. And my dad went into that pit corner. I think it was Frank Shooter dropped it. Then Barry Briggs just avoided him, and then Dad had nowhere to go and went into Frank Shooter's bike and broke his leg on the bloody first lap of his first race. It was the 67 winning team, so my uncle Martin was all in that and everything, and Dad was in the All-Star team. And he was one of the fitter guys still there, so he would have done really well. Just typical. He broke his leg on that first thing, and me and my brother ran over, and I remember Roscoe was sort of a young man then, and trying to take Dad's boot off and thing, and I think he called him a few names. I remember that, as a kid with your mouth wide open. But yeah, I swear my dad did it just to get back up the old hospital in Swindon to get his, because they already knew what his thing was, 2 sugars in the tea and all that. Is that 2 sugars in the tea, Dave? Yeah, back again, are you? Some cool pictures here. I like these ones like that. He was just so cool, wasn't he? Still is cool. How mad is it that Bruce seems to be getting younger? Oh, he was going, oh yeah, I'm like 66, and I'm thinking I'm sat here 46 with the grey beard and look like older than you, Bruce. But he had everything, didn't he? Had a bit of everything. Not only was he a class, stylish rider, he was the California kid, pin-up. Some mad photos that I had as well that I didn't actually even put up on here, like on the beach and all that. Oh, I was going to ask him about Crumpy as well. Loads of cool pictures, look. Some cool riders on there. That one on the far left there, Johnny O'Mara, he did a video to promote our reunion. How mad was that? Bruce looked when he got supposed to speak to him about that as well, when he got introduced into the AMA Hall of Fame. So obviously I'll speak to him about that next time. There's loads of iconic pictures of Bruce like that. So even there, that's got to be quite a while ago, and I swear Bruce is getting younger. This is a cool one as well. So how cool is this? So that's all the Cradley and, well, it's not all the Cradley, is it? Because Sam wasn't, but that's all the Americans that were the world champions, look. And I'm just one away from completing that set. Mental, absolutely mental. Done Greg Hancock, done Sam Ermolenko, even done me a video promoting our thing. It's just madness, even to be able to even speak to them, got their numbers. Oh, you're just mad. And then got some other weird things to tell you as well. Wasn't all that long ago that, can you imagine this, right? This is a scenario, straight up, I'm in bed. I think it was quite early. Luckily I was awake and looked down at my phone, because it was on silent, looked down at my phone, this is a true story, looked down at my phone and it said on Facebook, like a Facebook call, it said Billy Hamill. So I'm literally like, I hate talking on the phone anyway. Really hate talking on the phone. I don't mind. I can message till the cows come in, but I don't like talking on the phone in general anyway. And I literally was like looking at it, doing that. That can't be like Billy Hamill, can it? I thought that is his profile now. You know, all these people like hack accounts on Facebook have had mine done, and people taking off friends on friends and all that. I was thinking, can't. So I just sort of almost did that, like pressed on the thing, thinking. I was like, hello? And he was like, hey, man, it's Billy here. And I'm like, no way. And no word of a lie. I just literally spoke to him for about 25 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. And he even remembered, that was quite nice. He even remembered that when he got seriously injured at Swindon once, there was a bank holiday meeting with Swindon when he was riding for the Oxford. I think it was Silver Machine when him and Hancock were there. And he come off right at the end because Oxford would have won the meeting. I think his bike threw a chain in the pit corner. I think Jonas Davidson for Swindon didn't avoid him. He did have a bit of time, to be honest, to miss him, but he did lay it down sort of into him, and he had like internal injuries, got seriously injured and that. And I actually rang up the Great Western Hospital in Swindon. I actually rang him up to I was thinking to myself, so he's not going to know who I am. So I was thinking, I'll just say like, sending our love from the Ashbys, thinking that you would probably know of my uncle and dad and stuff from the Swindon days. And then he was like, yeah, man, of course I know them legends of Swindon and Ashbys and all that. And I was like, oh, wow. But he even remembers that he got the message to say big love from the Ashbys and hopefully he recovers as soon as possible. If I'd have had the balls at the time, I would have gone up there and took him up some Speedway Stars and some magazines or something. Not that brave at the time. Might have gone for it now though. But yeah, it was super cool to have a chat with him. I've had some really cool chats, and that was cool as well with Mr. Norris. I was at that was surreal as well. I was at the Cardiff. It was only the second time I've ever been. Last year, I went to Cardiff, met up with the Hare brothers, Dewey, Stuart Hare, and Lawrence Hare. So I met up with them, and then we literally went up into this hotel in Cardiff. Just missed Joe's screen, so I was a bit fuming about that. And then we went in there, and there was literally everyone was in there. It was like literally I'd done Calvin Tatum's live that week. He was in there, so he was like, "Oh, Lee," like that, and I was like, "Wow, Calvin Tatum." And then it was like Scott Nichols was there, and I've had good chats with him before about motocross and stuff, and he was there, and we literally drunk with him till about 3 or 4 in the morning in the hotel. And then there was Tony Ricardson there, never met him before, and I had selfies with him, obviously. Tony Briggs was there, so I met Tony Briggs, got his number because he's been helping me. I'm doing Barry Briggs's interview, by the way. I don't think I've told anyone, but I'm doing Barry Briggs's interview. Here we go. Look, listen to this. So you can imagine how cool this is, right? So I get things like this, and it just blows my head off. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll try it anyway. Just even seeing that come up on your phone, because I was like, "That's a weird number. Who the hell's that?" And it was like a message. So this isn't if we can. Hear this. Oh, I can't hear it. Why can't we hear it? Hold on. We'll have another go. Hold on. It won't come out now, but anyway, I got a voicemail from Barry Briggs. Can't believe that. It's typical, isn't it? I try to do it on the live and it won't come on there. Normally I can hear it clear as day on the speaker for some reason. Probably because I've took my phone on and off, turned my phone on and off and done all stuff like that. And now it's doing that, making out I haven't turned the thing on. I might try one more time. Some another go.
Good morning, Lee. It's Barry. I'm in California still. Gary's changed his job, so we're having a lot of trouble sorting that out. But I'm coming to England, I don't know, within about the next month or 6 weeks, so I'll give you a yell then, mate. Sorry to mess you around. See you, bye.
Yes. Keep that for life. Voicemail from Barry Briggs. Get in. Buzz in. This shit's therapy for me, you know. Sends me even going mental. Voicemail from Barry Briggs. Hallelujah. So yeah, I'm going to be doing Barry Briggs's and both his sons have been helping out. So I've spoke to Tony Briggs, and then I was getting an email the other day. So we're trying to sort that out as well. Gary Briggs was emailing me, and we're trying to sort that out. So we've tested it once as well. So I've had a little test of him on here, so I know we can do it. We had a good chat. So yeah, it's just all surreal, isn't it? Talking to these legends, mental. Lee Ashby, read your text. From who? Ooh, no way. Imagine trying to get Bruce over for a week in the UK. To get to see that, Bruce, we can sort it all out. Love to do an evening with Bruce Penhall. That'd be super cool. Because we was thinking about doing stuff like this before the COVID. And then if we could probably get PC involved, even get John Davis down there, it'd be absolute nuts. It'll have to be a big hotel. We'll have to sort it out. That'd be super cool. How cool would that be? Like I said, maybe get a Westlake day in, Gary. Hopefully Bruce could come over. He'd need to come over for at least a week. We need to make it worthwhile. Hopefully he can do it. Fingers crossed. I'll try and keep in touch with Bruce and see what the vibe is on that. Hopefully, never know. British Speedway could use someone like John Davis to help get the sport back up to where it should be and needs to be. He's controversial but talks great sense. Just an idea. Yeah, he does, mate. Load of the riders do. I speak to David Norris all the time. All got good ideas and just so annoying. Like, it just needs. But to be fair, Phil Morris is involved now. He's pretty good, isn't he? I'm going to be doing an interview with him as well. I have spoke to him, got his number now, and he just said that he wanted to get into his role in the British side of things as well, and then we'll get chatting. So that'd be cool. We'll talk about his Speedway career, all the stuff he did on those game shows, winning money, and then obviously went into the GP side of things, and now he's in the British Speedway side of things as well. Maybe I should just keep sending texts to Mr. Phil Morris. Nearly called you Phil Norris then, Dave, because I saw your name on there. Oh yes, mate. Dave Lanning as well. That voice, as soon as you hear that, like you said, iconic, isn't it? That's why it freaks me out now when I go on the thing and you think to yourself, oh my god, like I even found out the other day that like Mr. Murray Walker had done British Championship Motocross commentary, and then I thought, oh my god, I'm doing that now, and I'm thinking Murray Walker did it. Like, it's nuts, isn't it? Absolutely nuts. You're a ledge, Mr. Ashworth. Loved doing your interview. Everyone loved it. Everyone was sending me messages saying how much they loved it. Don't know if they messaged you. So hopefully you and your dad are good. Hope is your dad fully recovered now? Is he feeling all right? Let me know. Give us a message, buddy. But yeah, we will stop boring you now. It is, mate. Trust me. Something about, I literally is like, if you actually think about it, I've go through, if you look on my YouTube thing, it's absolutely mental. The people I've spoke to, I don't even, it's just not even, it shouldn't be real, should it? But like I said, with the man, yeah. Thank you to the Grahams that got this. This is basically a logo that Pat Stott from PS. Yeah, look, Pat Stott Designs. He designed this logo for me of Dad. With my dad look on there with the levers, and you can see the proper the Ashby red and white and black striped levers on. See him on my little figure here. And that was always the quote that my dad said to me before he died. He was always saying that to me. So it's pretty much like Bruce lives like that, doesn't he? And talks like that. He's amazing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Hopefully a few more people out there will read that. Won't mention names. But yeah, Ledge. Ah, awesome. That's good. It's been cool getting to do a few messages with Ricky. Plus, we're both Man United fans, so hopefully, Ricky, we got let's get this sweating out. Hey, we got a new keeper, Ricky. Woo! United. We'll have to go up to Old Trafford together, Ricky. Let's get up there. Take your dad. Let's go. I'll get me Eric Cantona t-shirt on. No idea where I took my top off. I was literally just sweating out here. Get your t-shirts. Motocross and Spear memories, baby. And I got a caps, look. Nice ones as well. Proper caps. Adjustable, look at the back. Look, you see? Even though I needed to get it on, I've been trying to wear the hat normal, so I ain't got the donut tan on the front, but I never last, and then it's quickly whipped round at some point. But yeah, come on, United. Sign a bloody striker, isn't it, Ricky? Sign a striker, and then we'll be happy. Mason Mount's in. Not sure how we got into football, but it's Ricky's fault. Man United boys, are we? All right, though, where I am, Swindon Town, though, first. Before that. Got the new shirt already. Got the new away shirt on order. Very cool, it is Swindon Town. Big shout out. Yeah, look, my old race number of Motocross with a Swindon Town there. That's 2 years ago shirt now. Jack got me, look. Not for Jack's use. Up the base. Good night and God bless everyone. Have a great weekend. And I may go out taking pictures at the weekend somewhere. Not sure. Not sure what Laney's planning for me. But I will lovely leave you with that. Me topless. And vamos. Wow. Yeah, I know. There's no way Daniel Levy's a Levy. Is it Levy or Levy? Levy. You can Levy. Harry wants to Levy. It's all right. I've got shorts on. It's all right. I'm not naked on the screen. As dodgy as it looks. That's another story as well. I had a video call off of Billy Mackenzie, the former British motocross champion and won GPs and stuff like that. He literally FaceTimed me as well. And he actually FaceTime videoed me, and I was literally had nothing on at all. And I literally put this hat on, just put a hat on for some reason, like that made any difference. Spoke to him and he went, please tell me you're not naked. And I was like, I am, yeah, but I've got a hat on, so not technically totally. He went, oh my God. I was like, yeah. I told him I'd tell people. I have now. But yeah, we could do with Harry Kane. We just need a striker. See, they keep talking about things, but like, in the end, don't they? They talk about the rumours and the transfers so much that you end up doing that. Like by the time they come, you're like, right, you've had enough of it. So hopefully we'll get that sorted. But good night and God bless everyone. Speak to you all. Message me if you want to talk to me about anything. We will try and sort out with Bruce Penhall. Imagine that. Imagine. Yeah, love it. Woo! Let's go, baby. Oh, when I come down to do the fishing then, Dave, we won't be naked then. Scares the fish off, doesn't it? Pants is all right though, isn't it? Got bamboo ones as well, you know, so really cool they are. Right, I better go before I say anything weirder. Good night, all. Should be down the old Fox Hill Vets in August if you're down the Swindon way. Be the Vets Motocross the Nations. I'll be there doing a bit of media and that. 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll have at least a quarter of a shandy, easily. Easily. See you all soon. Vamos. Much love to you all. Thanks for all coming on. Loved your questions.